Welcome. This is G. You're watching Allastrology, and this is the week of 15 and the following 7 days. It's a busy week. It's a lot going on. We do have an eclipse this week, for starters, and things are changing. Let's look at some of the details to fill us in on what's going on. We've got Venus highlighted and Mercury highlighted. The sun is highlighted on this chart, of course, because we're having an eclipse. It is a solar eclipse. It happens towards the end of the week. There is a separate video for the eclipse. If you haven't watched it, go check it out. I will talk about it here, but it's at the end of the week, so we'll get there. So to start off this week, we are paying attention to Mercury ruled Virgo energy. We're looking at how Mercury and the sun were conjunct. We talked about this last week. They were not just conjunct together, but they were conjunct the South Node. They were conjunct Pandora's box. So what happened last week? Stuff with details and numbers. Remember, Virgo brings the receipts. It's think of Virgo as the accountant with the glasses hanging off the end of the nose. Like, there's not too many details that are gonna get by and get past them. And that's the superpower of Virgo energy, is the ability to dig out and to see the minutia. That's their superpower. That's what we pay them for. We're paying attention to Venus at 25 in Leo, and Venus is going to make a move, and she will be conjunct Regulus this week. You see, Venus at 25 Regulus at 0 degrees in Virgo here. So this is big, and it has to do with money and values. This Venus stuff, right? And the Leo and taking risks with money and finances and banking, stock market, whatnot, gambling, whatever. And will there be an interest rate cut this week? Does this chart support it? Well, we have authority figure energy with Venus conjunct authority figure energy, right? And Venus is money, values, and banking, right? Neptune is now at 057. This is, the big institutional energy, an authority figure. It's 0 degrees. Normally 0 is like, an extreme degree. So I see that and I'm like, wow, what's going to be happening at 0 degrees with Neptune in Aries? Authority figures that are part of institutional energy take action. Is it going to be surprising? Well, I think the real shock and surprise would be if they don't lower interest rates. I think that would be the shock and the surprise. Some of the things that's happening this week with these numbers, if you look at these planets, Venus is going to get to 29 by Thursday. Mercury's getting to 29 by Wednesday. You see that? So after 29, what happens? They go into a new sign. So energy is changing because it's not just Venus and Mercury, but the sun. By the end of the week, the sun, by the beginning of next week, the sun will be in a different sign. And so too will Mars. So a lot changes in this next 7, 8, 9 days, in addition to an eclipse. You follow? So what changes? Venus is the money, what we value and who we value, our natural resources, our money in the bank. Okay. Mercury is the stock market, but also the markets in general. How are the markets doing? My local economy, even the housing market. It's the data. It's the collection of the data. I always hear telemetry in my head. The data's coming in and we got to make sense of it because it keeps a ledger type of thing. And so you can understand why these two are always talking, right? It makes a lot of sense because the data comes with, and it's the data about the values, but Mercury's a big part in the collection of that data and the delivering of it, the talking about it, the communications about it. Okay. So critical degrees Wednesday and Thursday for Venus and Mercury. Taking risks, but it's also got like this authority figure power behind it because it's conjunct Regulus. And we're going to just take a look at the whole chart. You see, we've got an air trine drawn in, and we've got a fire trine. The air trine's at 0 degrees. So it's the Uranus, it's the Pluto, and it's the part of fortune, which is a quite a fast mover. But we also have an Arabic lot of success at 0 degrees in Libra energy. So we've got an air trine and a fire trine to kick the week off. All right. And usually when you mix air and fire together, what happens? Fire grows, right? It grows. And this doesn't have to be literal fire. It's the energy. Fire represents action and movement. And there's a heat involved, right? And whenever you raise up the heat, there's more action, right? We might even be more easily irritated, actually, because there's more fire. But we've got Neptune at the 0 degrees, and that Mars is the ruler of the Aries degree with the mixture of the Neptune. So it may be something with the military happening as well, and likely with powers all over the world, because it's 0 degrees Neptune, and that's different governments around the world. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, those are 5 days that look to be loaded. Partnerships, it's Congress, it's courtrooms, it's lawyers, it's equality, it's fairness. It is the healthcare, it is the details, it is the service industry, jobs reports, possibly folks losing jobs, right? And then it's the sun, that authority figure. Just look at the beginning of the week. You've got Mars and Black Moon Lilith together at 25. And remember, I was saying last week, all these objects at 25 are a kickoff point. And so that's how this week begins. There's definitely like this initiating vibration to this week, because it's Mercury at 25, Mars at 25, Venus at 25. Venus, my money, my values, my love. Mercury, my mind, my thinking, my healthcare, my health, my job, my tasks and projects and organizing and cleanliness and hygiene. Mars in Libra, my partnerships, my ability to meet somebody halfway, equality and fairness. Okay, Mars takes action. Remember, Congress, my ability to negotiate, my diplomatic abilities, that too. Saturday/Sunday, September 21st. We have a solar eclipse in Virgo. The solar eclipse initiates a new beginning. It's like it really is a new moon. The sun and the moon line up, and we have an eclipse at 29 degrees of Virgo. Again, 29, the billionaire degree, authority figure possibly, right? In Virgo. So somebody that is reading the data, reading the details, that can make a decision, that can make a choice. So when we talk about rate cuts, will the Fed cut rates? There's a lot of energy for new and for change and for making decisions and taking actions. Monday, we have Mars in Scorpio energy. So that's Mars being very powerful, taking action with trade, with the tariffs. But there may be, who knows, there's a lot of flip-floppy energy, especially with the one in charge for the US. So we'll see what happens. But the 29-degree solar eclipse is a new beginning. And the billionaire degree has to do with the minutia, the details, and jobs, okay? Healthcare and the service industry and those who have served. Last thing here, Jupiter. Jupiter is moving to a different degree. Jupiter is at 20 degrees until Saturday. Then it goes to the Jupiter degree. So Jupiter at a Jupiter degree. This reinforces authority figure energy. It reinforces authority figures taking action. It reinforces the authority figures showing their power. Judges come up big, foreigners, foreign lands, foreign languages, but these are rulers, these are leaders, these are statesmen, these are, heads of state and presidents and public figures, politicians for sure. All right. And because it's in Cancer, it's definitely the public's emotions for sure. So it's Jupiter, which can elevate things at the Jupiter degree. So we'll see what happens.